For shoulder swimmers, we're going to be moving our shoulders through a big, wide range of motion. I'll show you in a second. That wasn't actually it. You can hold small weights with this if you want. You can also just focus on having the greatest range of motion that you can. So keeping your arms as high as you can, which will make a little bit more sense as soon as I start it. So that you're working on the end ranges of motion of each of your muscles rather than kind of working in the center in a more neutral spot. So in this case, trying to go higher can be a little bit more effective and or just a little bit more helpful, maybe not effective because they're working on two different things, but a little more helpful for why we use the shoulder swimmers than holding weights. In any case, you really don't want to hold more than a 3-pound weight for these. There's no need. So to start the movement, we're going to lay face down. You're going to have your face pointed down the whole time. You'll tuck your tail, press out through your heels. That might bring your knees off the ground. That's fine. You can definitely set your forehead on the ground if you would like. And if that helps keep you facing the floor at all times rather than arching your neck like that, go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep mine up mostly because it'll help you hear me a little bit better. I'm going to start with my hands over my head, my thumbs pointed up, my shoulders dropped away from my ears. So I'm not just reaching as high as I can get. I want kind of a neutral shoulder there. I'm going to, keeping pressure through my heels so that the rest of my body stays active, I'm going to lift my arms. I'm going to swing around. And here you can kind of see I'm holding my arms high. I'm going to rotate when I need to. Come all the way back, bring them roughly together. You may or may not be able to touch them. You may or may not be able to get your thumbs to point up toward your head. Don't worry about that too much. Work within your range of motion. Do the best that you can. Then from here, I'm going to raise my hands, going to swing them back around. At some point, I will need to rotate them. I'll do that, keeping them as high as I can, and then back down. That's one. So what I mean by working with the height is that you can do this just kind of swinging around here. And that's fine for a warm-up or something like that. But if we're using these for strength, if you're not holding weights, and like I said, working with the height can be more effective here than holding weights. You want to get these as high as you can. Keep them as high as you can the whole time. Rotate when you need to. Keep them as high as possible, and then down, and then lift, and again, keep them as high as possible, and then come down. That will work parts of the muscles that we don't get worked in other movements, and that's why I like to use these typically, is because they hit spots on the shoulders that other movements don't. So those are our shoulder swimmers. Now you try.